Lunar Light Entertainment proudly presents Readings from the Necronomicon with Frank Monday.
All right, looking good. Oh, the fucking mess my office is, huh? It's okay. It's okay. Looking good. So I'm just here chilling at the villa, roasting some oleobanum. Oleobanum. Is it oleobanum or oleobanium? Someone's probably gonna think it's a fucking heroin rock. Oh, the only heroin I got right here. One left. One stick left. Then it's off to the store to get some more. How you guys doing today? I don't know if this camera is actually working or not, and I don't know if this live stream is actually recording or not. So I'm going to check it and make sure that we are good to go. So let me see what I got here. I got failing power on my phone. That's the first thing I got. Does that work? Let's hope it does. It says I got a viewer. What the Who's there? Who is watching me? It doesn't show me who's watching me. Wow, this thing is going bananas, man. Tag friend. Okay. Okay. Oh, I lost my viewer. What a bummer. What a bummer. So, when this thing actually gets going, I got a box of Nike shoes. Nike shoes. Not even sure what color those are. They look good though. Nike shoes. They might be blue, they might be black. Who knows? Christmas came early for Frank Monday. The thing here is I don't know if I can see that camera or not. Let me see, how can I do that? There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, power looks good. Looks good. So, what do you guys want to talk about? I wish I may, I wish I might, wish upon the first star I see tonight. Saturday. And you're probably thinking, Frank Monday, why'd you cut off my crack rock supply? And I'm like, cause Sleazy P Martini ran out of all the crack rock. And so everybody's on rations. Wartime rations for all you guys. So I thought I would talk a little bit about Biden and his dark winter warning and what he means by that. So you guys got to realize that Biden is doing frankincense like Jesus. Biden is doing really bad right now, and I've lit a white candle for his health, but it looks bad, y'all. He's not gonna make it. He probably won't make it through the month. Hell, he might not have even made it through the day, and he might have already passed on. And the problem is they don't have a suitable clone or impersonator that is believable enough lined up. So that's why the shift has occurred. And they're starting to say, oh, it looks like Trump might get the electoral vote, because they're not going to be able to find anyone suitable to stand in for Biden and act like he's still alive. What was that movie, Weekend at Bernie's? He ain't gonna make it. And as a result, that's why they said dark winter, because he's going dark. He is going back in the basement, and he's not going to be able to make it. So what does that look like then? What does that mean for the U.S. presidential election? Means a couple things. They are going to act like they've got a Biden ticket ready to go, even though they don't. And so they can't swap him out at this point. Like there's no way to do that. So they got to try to run the smoke screen if they want to try to shoehorn his corpse in just for like the first couple of weeks and to keep everything dark, and then use some deep fakes. And not let anybody onto it, and then that way they can swap him out for camel hair ass and make the switch, the pitch and switch. But hopefully what's going to happen is that they'll just give up on the fraud and let everybody know that Trump actually won, and he's winning the electoral, and he's a winner. Because he's nothing but a fucking winner. That man, all he ever knows, only thing he knows how to do is win. So everybody knew it was a crock of shit when they're like, oh, bribing one with his cracked out son Hunter. Yeah, and camel hair ass. Yeah. Nobody check any of these fucking spurious hundreds of thousands of mail-in ballots that only have Biden written on them with no signature and maybe a dead relative's name in there. So, subterfuge. And it didn't work. And it would have worked, but they were counting on Biden's health lasting for at least a couple more months, maybe into 2021. Like midterm 2021. At least if he made it past the fucking finish line, then they could pull it off. But here's the fucking truth. He ain't gonna make it past the finish line even, which is what do I give a fuck about the old rat? But it's a bummer for a lot of people because they were counting on it. And it's a big bummer for a lot of deep state folks because they were really, really counting on it. And just gotta check that camera. I need to figure out some angle that I can do it and use it and not get cut off. I'm surprised they're even allowing live streaming right now. I guess that's kind of fun. If you guys had any questions to send in, then I might have something to talk about. I was just kind of impromptu, got a dirty desk, been out of the house for 80 hours a week, hardly home anymore. 12 to 14 hours a day I am on the road, man, humping it. So Saturday is my big chill day. And then Sunday, Sunday day is temple day, so ain't shit going on Sunday. I feel bad for folks that have lost people during the pandemic. I lost someone, my brother, passed away due to complications due to COVID. Well, no, that's not fair. The complications at the hospital were due to COVID, but his untimely demise was probably due to the number one killer in the world, medical malpractice. What do they say? Something like 1 million people in the U.S. alone die every year due to doctors fucking shit up. I mean, but you got to take responsibility for yourself at some point, right? And be like, all that crack rock and pregnant hookers probably didn't fucking help. So that's about the size of it. See if I can't get a second camera going. There you go. So I'm doing good. Too much coffee, too much nicotine, and too much working hard. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good. For some reason, I had a bit of a neck injury on October 1st. I injured my neck, like cracked it the wrong way, and it fucking froze up, man, and I was on my back for like 2 weeks and haven't been right since. So that's a bummer. I was taking meds, but I felt like the meds were making me sick too. Some sort of sodium solution. So I stopped taking them. I took them for like, I don't know, like 3 weeks. It's supposed to be some sort of painkiller. And I thought that's probably too fucking long to be taking a painkiller. So I got off them. And then the pain started coming back a little bit. I'm like, man, my fucking neck ain't right yet. But one of the doctors, a neck doctor, well, they were both neck doctors, but one of them said it could take anywhere from like 5 to 6 weeks to heal. He said that neck injuries were no joke. No joke. Yeah, so I haven't been able to figure out a good way to burn this oleobanum. Wish I had a dictionary handy. Where's my dictionary? Oleobanum is the colloquial name for frankincense. So I got a big bag of that shit right here, and I want to burn it correctly. It's not the highest quality, but it's 250 grams. And in Chinese, it's called chenxiang. And it actually says that it's a yaotuan kind of medicinal herb. So I guess frankincense is medicinal, antiseptic, and so on and so forth. So I was hoping to burn some here at the temple in order to ward off some of this fucking stink of this city, man. Because this city stinks. It's a stinky fucking place, man. Let me check, see if anybody's on here with me. No, nobody there. Alrighty. So I was just testing out the parameters, see if this new format would work. If it does, good. If not, who cares, right? I love y'all out in happy land. Keep it real. Keep pushing that 2020 card, because that's the winning fucking ticket. Remember, if you're riding with Biden, you better be hiding, because the destination is Gitmo. Bye for now. Alrighty, back at it. I will do this until my old lady comes back, maybe. Don't want to get caught live streaming. I put on the headset to try to see if I could get better sound quality. Ooh, see, that just doesn't work. What's up, yo? All right, that should be it right there. I have got it totally jerry-rigged right now. And so I figured, why not? Just go for it. Get in there. See if it works. So I thought I would do a live reading of the Necronomicon. I got it open here on the laptop. And that'll be fun. I mean, if anybody wants to join in, check it out. Good times. Frank Monday coming at you, straight out the ghetto. Got an extra... Hey, see, that ain't gonna work. Let me see if I can rearrange my cables. There we go. And there it is there. All right. Looking good. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up. So this is going to be a live reading of the Necronomicon. H.P. Lovecraft Society. Frank Monday. Frater Aristeus in the temple. Does anybody know that one? O great Astaroth, guide here in the darkness, transparent intelligence of Hokman Hard, guide your youngest son back to the light of truth. The alchemical conception of the universal mercury as a flowing, shifting, and unstable principle ever changing. I summon thee, great Astaroth. Ata Malkut Vegubra Vegudula Leolam. Amen. Heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle, wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. My bodily cave is brightly illumined by the mysterious light from the three sources, my three Dantian, bridge points leading to immortality. The powerful spirits of the eight directions conjoin my being with the true origin of life. By the absolute order of the divine Ling Bao in the highest ninth heaven, send the positive energies of Qianluo, Dana, Duncan, and Taishuan to destroy my spiritual obstacles and debilitate any evil influence. This order is given by the highest sovereignty. It is a jade oracle from the subtle origin. I invoke with strong sincerity to drive away the demons and evils and lengthen my healthy years. The attained spirits respond. Raphael, Gabriel, Mikael, Uriel, dispersing all negativity. The Chi of Tao is everlasting, so it is commanded and confirmed. Alrighty. The Necronomicon by H.P. Lovecraft. In a vast room hung with strangely figured Rs and carpeted with Bukhara rugs of impressive age and workmanship, four men were sitting around a document-strewn table. From the far corners where odd tripods of wrought iron were now and then replenished by an incredibly aged Negro in somber livery, came the hypnotic fumes of olibanum. While in a deep niche on one side there ticked a curious, coffin-shaped clock whose dial bore baffling hieroglyphs, and whose four hands did not move in consonance with any time system known on this planet. It was a singular and disturbing room, but well fitted to the business at hand. For here, in the New Orleans home of this continent's greatest mystic, mathematician, and Orientalist. There was being settled at last the estate of a scarcely less great mystic, scholar, author, and dreamer, who had vanished from the face of the earth 4 years before. Randolph Carter, who had all his life sought to escape from the tedium and limitations of waking reality in the beckoning vistas of dreams and fabled avenues of other dimensions, disappeared from the sight of man on the 7th of October, 1928, at the age of 54. His career had been a strange and lonely one, and there were those who inferred from his curious novels many episodes more bizarre than any in his recorded history. His association with Harley Warren, the South Carolina mystic who studies in the primal Nakal language of the Himalayan priests, had led to such outrageous conclusions, had been close. Indeed, it was he who, one mist-mad, terrible night in an ancient graveyard, had seen Warren descend into a dank and nitrous vault, never to emerge. Carter lived in Boston. All right. I'm back at it. Back at it again. Try to get her done. Facebook trying to frustrate my fucking efforts keeps lagging out and disconnecting. I'm surprised it's connected at all, though. I mean, you got to be happy with that. Okay, so back to the Necronomicon. Tongtokesher? Nah, we'll not start from the beginning. We'll start where I left off. Randolph Carter, who had all his life sought to escape from the tedium and limitations of waking reality in the beckoning vistas of dreams and fabled avenues of other dimensions, disappeared from the sight of man on the 7th of October, 1928, at the age of 54. His career had been a strange and lonely one, and there were those who inferred from his curious novels many episodes more bizarre than any in his recorded history. His association with Harley Warren, the South Carolina mystic who studies in the primal Nakal language of the Himalayan priests, had led to such outrageous conclusions, and had been close. Indeed, it was he who, one mist-mad, terrible night in an ancient graveyard, had seen Warren descend into a dank and nitrous vault, never to emerge. Carter lived in Boston, but it was from the wild, haunted hills behind hoary and witch-accursed Arkham that all his forebears had come. It was amid those ancient, cryptically brooding hills that he had ultimately vanished. His old servant Pox had died early in 1930, had spoken of the strangely aromatic and hideously carven box he had found in the attic, and of the undecipherable parchments and clearly figured silver key which that box had contained, matters of which Carter had also written to others. Carter, he said, had told him that this key had come down from his ancestors, that it would help him to unlock the gate of his lost boyhood, and to strange dimensions and fantastic realms which he had hitherto visited only in vague, brief, and elusive dreams. Then one day Carter took the box and its contents and rode away in his car, never to return. Later on, people found the car at the side of an old, grass-grown road in the hills behind crumbling Arkham. The hills where Carter's forebears had once dwelt, and where the ruined cellar of the great Carter homestead still gaped to the sky. It was in a grove of tall elms nearby that another of the Carters had mysteriously vanished in 1781. And not far away was the half-rotted cottage where Goody Fowler, the witch, had brewed her ominous potions still earlier. The region had been settled in 1692 by fugitives from the witch trials in Salem, and even now it bore a name vaguely ominous and even now it bore a name for vaguely ominous things scarcely to be envisaged. Edmund Carter had fled from the shadow of Gallows Hill just in time, and the tales of his sorceries were many. Now it's... You gonna stay active? Now it seemed his lone descendant had gone somewhere to join him. In the car they found the hideously carved box of fragrant wood, and the parchment which no man could read. The silver key was gone, presumably with Carter. Further than that there was no certain clue. Detectives from Boston said that the fallen timbers of the old Carter place seemed oddly disturbed, and somebody found a handkerchief on the rock-ridged, sinisterly wooded slope behind the ruins near the dreaded cave of the old snake den. It was then that the country legends about the snake den gained a new vitality. Farmers whispered of the blasphemous uses to which the old Edmund Carter the wizard had put the horrible grotto, and added later tales about the fondness which Randolph Carter himself had had for it when a boy. In Carter's boyhood, the venerable gamble-roofed homestead was still standing and tenanted by his great-uncle Christopher. He had visited there often and had talked singularly about the snake den. People remembered what he had said about a deep fissure and an unknown inner cave beyond, when he was 9. That was in October. People remembered what he had said about a deep fissure and an unknown inner cave beyond, and speculated on the change he had shown after spending a whole memorable day in the cavern when he was 9. That was in October too, and even after that he had seemed to have an uncanny knack at prophesying future events. It had rained late in the night that Carter vanished, and no one was quite able to trace his footprints from the car. Inside the snake den, all was an amorphous liquid mud, owing to copious seepage. Only the ignorant rustics whispered about the prints that they thought they spied where the great elms overhang the road, and on the sinister hillside near the snake den, where the handkerchief was found. Who could pay attention to whispers that spoke of stubby little tracks, like those which Randolph Carter's square-toed boots made when he was a small boy? It was as crazy a notion as that other whisper, that the tracks of old Benijah Corey's peculiar, heelless boots had met the stubby little tracks in the road. Old Benijah had been the Carters' hired man when Rudolph was young, but he had died 30 years ago. It must have been these whispers, plus Carter's own statement to Parks and others that the queerly arabesqued silver key would help him unlock the gate of his lost boyhood, which caused a number of mystical students to declare that the missing man had actually doubled back on the trail of time and returned through 45 years to that other October day in 1883 when he had stayed in the snake den as a small boy. When he came out that night, they argued he had somehow made the whole trip to 1928 and back, for did he not thereafter know of things which were to happen later? And yet he had never spoken of anything to happen beyond 1928. One student, an elderly eccentric of Providence, Rhode Island, who had enjoyed a long and close correspondence with Carter, had a still more elaborate theory, and believed that Carter had not only returned to boyhood, but achieved a further liberation, roaming at will through the prismatic vistas of boyhood dream. After a strange vision, this man published a tale of Carter's vanishing, in which he hinted that the lost one now reigned as king on the opal throne of Ilikvad, that fabulous town of turrets atop the hollow cliffs of glass overlooking the twilight sea, wherein the bearded and Fininore build their singular labyrinths. It was this old man, Ward Phillips, who pleaded most loudly against the appointment of Carter's estate to his heirs, all distant cousins, on the ground that he was still alive in another time dimension and might well return some day. Against him was arrayed the legal talent of one of the cousins, Ernest B. Aspinwall of Chicago, a man 10 years Carter's senior, but keen as a youth in forensic battles. For 4 years the contest had raged, but now the time for appointment had come, and this vast, strange room in New Orleans was to be the scene of the arrangements.
Thank you for watching Lunar Light Entertainment. Have a nice day.